Let's discuss this morning with Engineer Gbenga Adebayo. He's the chairman of the Association of Licensed Telecommunications Operators of Nigeria, ALTON. He's also the founder of African Broadband Limited. Engineer, thank you so much. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
So I guess consumers should be rejoicing now, but you know, there's just this thing in Nigeria that you don't expect prices to just go down just like that, except you fight for it, especially when you look at overhead cost for whoever, whether it's a local company or an international company. Once you're operating in Nigeria, the issue of infrastructure, overhead cost always feeds and deprives consumers from getting a decline in prices.
Thank you. But I think we have a different situation in our hands. I say so because during this time last year, we were talking about industry sustainability, and we made a lot of effort in doing some form of adjustment in the tariff that we charge to subscribers. And this year now, the regulator has made it clear to us that quality of services has to come first, among other things. So it's assumed that during last year, we have addressed capacity gaps, we have addressed issues affecting quality of services. And this year is now time for consumers to begin to see the benefit of the work that we have done and to get values for the money that they pay. NCC has made it very clear to us that consumer experience remains first and top line. So therefore, we have not only regulatory obligation to our regulator, we do have also the moral obligation to subscribers to provide them quality services for what they pay for. So I think in our case, as I said in the beginning, we are in a better situation because this time last year, a lot of investment has been done in the system. For now, various networks, we have done significant expansion. And now it's time for us to start delivering value to subscribers. So I think that we are in a better place. And going forward, we are no longer going to be rewarded for the effort we have made. We're only going to be rewarded for the successes that we achieve. In that regard, regulator has set very strict parameters for quality management, and for quality experience, for quality of user experience. We're out, our sleeves are up, we're out to deliver that to all subscribers wherever they are. In terms of coverage gap, a lot is also being done in closing the gaps. You are aware about the 90,000 kilometers fiber that the federal government is doing. You have also mentioned in your introduction number of other players that have been licensed to close the gap. And on our side also, as legacy operators, we're also doing a lot in terms of closing those access gaps because the more we are, the better for everyone. So I think we're in a better place and the consumers stand in a better position now to enjoy better quality of service that they have done in their experience in the years past.
Engineer, just as you mentioned the issue of quality of service, I don't know if you've heard the report, but I seem to hear that people around me, there are more issues or incidents of drop calls and network failure in the last, I think, 2 weeks or so. I don't know if you've heard that.
That's why we always say to people, report your experience. It's not enough to post on social media what experience you have. There are channels for reporting this kind of complaint and experience. But you know, it's a bit difficult if we have a generalized report to say quality of service or drop calls are like this. We operate networks and there are clear reports about service delivery, service availability. So I'll always advise that people should please report their experience instead of going on the comfort of social media to post what they see or what they experience. People should actually address those concerns directly to their service providers. We're not unaware that there could be hiccups here and there, but again, it doesn't happen at all place and at all times. So my appeal to the public is that when you do have those experiences, please pursue the channel of complaint, whether by way of using the touch points of the operator, or by way of a call to the center, or by way of complaint to the regulator. Then we're able to look at it on case-by-case basis. And that also helps us to narrow down as what exactly is the situation and where does that happen. So I cannot say to you that it doesn't happen. But what I can only say is that we need to get the right report to be able to know what to do and how to address those complaints when they arise.
So, I mean, I guess customers or consumers are supposed to report to the carriers, you know, whoever is their carrier, or maybe how do they exactly, what's the most effective way to report issues like this?
There are three channels of reporting. In first instance, you can call your operator's help desk. And the assurance to the public is that each of those calls that you make to the service center, to the experience center, is being recorded and being monitored. That is the first point. The second is also have a digital access point where you can complain using the operator's app or contacting them even on the social media platform. They do have social media handles on which you can reach them. And the third is even of those space. The NCC also do have a customer complaint center where you can dial into those numbers and make complaints and report your own service provider to the regulator. So people should consider pursuing any of these channels other than just making a generalized post on the internet or on the social media saying services, bad services, bad services. It helps us to actually identify where the problems are when those reports are made.
All right. Then this new entrance into the telecom space in Nigeria, we hear they come on different modalities, different forms, voice over data, and all of that. Could you help us understand, you know, some of these modalities and perhaps individuals who would prefer to hop on some of those platforms?
You know, about 2 years ago, the NCC licensed what we call the Mobile Virtual Network Operators. They call them the MVNOs. Those are players that will latch on the traditional players to provide services. And also they license the wireless providers, the likes of Starlink. Now we're hearing about a few other players that have been licensed to provide services. So the option would be traditional conventional connection using your mobile or home connection over fiber, or radio connection via the satellite, such as the Starlinks and the rest of them that we have, that we currently have, more of whom we are also got to get on the network. But the beauty of that for consumer is that it gives options of where to go. And you see, the more competitors we have in the sector, the better for the consumers, because it gives them options. So if operator A is not delivering services, you go to operator B. If operator B is not, you go to operator C. So for us, we say always that the better the better. And you know, experience tells us that when you have new entrants to the business, it does help the traditional players to do better. So we're happy that more players are coming on board. We operate one national network. I say all the time that you could have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players in the sector, but we all operate just one national network. And our overall experience at industry association is to ensure that users get service and value for the service they pay for. So the more we are, the better. So long as we can have services to all persons in all places at all times, we're happy as an industry association. So our role as an advocacy group is to ensure that we have everybody doing what they should do, and the consumers are happy getting the kind of experience that they pay for. We do have that obligation to consumers. We have that obligation to government, and we have that obligation to ourselves as well, to be seen as doing what is right, what is good for the public that we serve.
And well, your obligation only increases with more players there. But I guess all of this is also a part of what the NCC is saying when they said they've rolled out satellite to phone technology for 23.3 million Nigerians. I guess it's captured in some of these by some of these new entrants.
Absolutely so.
All right, so we'll be watching that space and hope that things will only get better service and better rates for consumers. Well, thank you so much, Engineer Gbenga Adebayo, Chairman of Association of Licensed Telecommunications Operators of Nigeria, for your time and views on the program.
Thank you for having me.